The movie takes place in December 1942, during World War II. At that time, around 300 Swedish soldiers had gone missing. The story focuses on 6 of them. 2 young soldiers leave their position at checkpoint 83 in northern Värmland, Sweden, and travel 5 miles towards the border of Nazi-occupied Norway on a cold night. They spot German soldiers on a bridge. One soldier keeps watch with his sniper rifle, while the other manages to escape. A gunfight ensues, and one of the soldiers is shot in the arm. Despite this, the 2 soldiers named Aaron and Major Adolfsson successfully cross the border. The next morning, we see Lieutenant Aaron and his wife Karen at their home. Karen finds Aaron sleeping and notices his bandaged hand when she uncovers the blankets. She encourages him to go to the hospital, but he dismisses it as a minor injury. Karen, who is pregnant, and Aaron share an affectionate moment before she reminds him about his meeting with Sven at the train station. Sven arrives by train and flirts with an attractive girl he sees. Aaron arrives shortly after and asserts his authority, which makes the girl nervous. He lets her go, and it turns out that Sven and Aaron were just joking around. They leave in a car, and during the ride, Sven asks Aaron about the number of men at the roadblock. Aaron tells him there are 5 soldiers, and it's the final post before Norway, just 5 kilometers from the border. They cross into Norway and meet the other men at the roadblock. Aaron gives orders to the group's captain and leaves Sven with them. The captain introduces Sven to the rest of the group and shows him his living quarters, where Sven finds a sniper rifle that catches his interest. The scene then shifts back to Aaron, who arrives at the office of the Major General. The Major invites him in and offers him a drink. Aaron explains that he was promised leave after his last mission at the Burialberg Bridge, but the Major informs him of a new mission he must undertake. Aaron objects, but Major Adolfsson insists that this mission is crucial. Reluctantly, Aaron agrees and learns that he will be going alone to Norway. He is instructed to wait for contact and, if necessary, destroy the bridges to prevent an invasion. Aaron leaves the office with his new orders. Back at the roadblock, Sven and the other men are enjoying themselves. One of them asks what they would do if they encountered a German soldier on the road. The responses vary, with some suggesting conversation and others insisting on following orders to protect the border. Sven points out that Hitler has already taken over Europe and is likely to target Sweden next. This sparks a heated argument, which escalates into a fight between Sven and another man who suggests siding with the winners. The fight is stopped by the other men. Later that night, Sven decides to patrol the borders by skiing. Another soldier sees him leaving and decides to join him. They venture into the forest amid heavy snowfall and spot German soldiers arriving in trucks. They are quickly discovered, and the Germans start shooting. Sven fights back, but his companion gets trapped and captured by the Germans. While Sven manages to escape, Aaron wakes up after a restless sleep and starts getting dressed. His fiancée, Karin, tries to persuade him to come back to bed. He informs her that he has to leave early for an assignment, and she reminds him of their upcoming wedding ceremony. They express their love for each other, but Aaron reveals that he can't marry her as planned because he has to go on a mission. Karin protests, and Aaron unintentionally raises his voice at her, causing her to withdraw. He then leaves the house in his vehicle. The next morning, Aaron meets up with his old friend and fellow soldier, Villa. He asks Villa to join him on the assignment, but emphasizes that Major Adolfsson must not know about their partnership. Villa agrees, and they head to roadblock 83, only to find the soldiers there drunk and asleep. Aaron wakes up one of them, Wixell, and inquires about the whereabouts of Sven and the other soldier. He also reprimands them for neglecting their duties. Wixell and the others acknowledge their mistake and offer to help find the missing soldiers, including Aaron's brother Sven. They set out on skis and soon came across the location where Sven and his friend were attacked by the Germans. They discover a wounded soldier who was left behind, his face gruesomely mutilated by the Germans. Aaron is shocked and terrified, unable to bear the thought of what the Germans may have done to his brother Sven. Willa encourages him to stay strong and orders Wixell and the others to bury their fallen comrade. Meanwhile, Aaron sets off to find his brother by following the tracks left by the truck in the snow. Willa follows him, and they soon hear gunfire. They rush toward the sound and reunite with Wixell. They return fire, but it appears that the enemy has a sniper. Aaron manages to lead the others to safety while taking cover under a cliff. The scene shifts to Adolfsson, where Karen serves him in a cafe and asks if he can grant her soon-to-be husband a few days of leave. Unfortunately, he regrets informing her that military regulations prevent him from granting the request, and she apologizes for the inconvenience. Back at the war zone, Aaron is engaged in a shootout with the now exposed enemies. He successfully kills a particular soldier by shooting him in the face. Although outnumbered, Willa arrives with a gun to assist his friend, and together they manage to retreat while continuing to engage the enemy. Aaron finally reaches the cabin, where Wixell and the other soldiers are waiting. Late at night, he has a conversation with Villa, who shares how his past war experiences continue to haunt him. Aaron starts having hallucinations of the man he killed, and Willa advises him to suppress those thoughts. Soon after, they spot missiles being launched and ski toward the source. Meanwhile, Adolfsson is reprimanded by his superior for failing to maintain control over his roadblock, where his soldiers fired upon the Germans. Adolfson clarifies that he didn't give the order, but his superior takes charge and instructs him to rectify the situation and cover up the mistake, and they have 48 hours to retrieve him. Adolfson then proposes his plan. In the next scene, Aaron and the others discover that the presumed missile is actually a crashed Nazi airplane. They find the wreckage in the snow, with the deceased pilot nearby. Aaron comes across a file containing a map and takes it. Meanwhile, Adolfson's new plan is revealed. His superior hires an assassin who has a history of villainy. The assassin is also a soldier, but is involved in shady activities. Back at the cabin, the Germans slowly infiltrate the area. Aaron and his friend quickly return from the crashed plane to rescue the others. Wixel, who was in a separate toilet, is shocked to see them approaching, but is unable to take any action. Captain Keller, a cruel German commander known for disfiguring soldiers' faces in the forest, captures and tortures one of the soldiers to extract information. He shoots at the toilet where Wixel is hiding and brutally kills the captured soldier. Aaron is filled with the desire to shoot Keller with his rifle, but is restrained by his friends. Fortunately, Wixel manages to escape the toilet unharmed and joins Aaron and Willa. Although relieved, Wixel appears traumatized. They continue their journey on skis, aware of the risks ahead. During a break, Aaron shows Willa a map he took from the crashed plane, explaining that they must go to Sweden as the Germans are likely to attack there next. Meanwhile, a hired assassin spots Willa on a hill and plans to confront him face to face. However, he decides to wait for the right opportunity. Captain Keller passes by with trucks full of prisoners, and Aaron rushes towards them, hoping to find Sven among the captives. However, the truck passes by before he can reach it. Willa manages to capture the truck's license plate numbers using his binoculars. Later, Wixel sneaks onto the main road and confronts a truck, asking if they have Sven. The soldiers in the truck are Germans who don't understand Swedish. Wixel behaves strangely, and they order him to lower his weapon. Surprisingly, Wixel shoots one of the soldiers in the face. Aaron and Will provide cover fire from the hills, but Wixel is shot multiple times and left in pain. Aaron and Will reluctantly leave him behind and escape as the Germans continue to pursue them. The German soldiers search the hills for our protagonists. Aaron hides beneath the snow, remaining silent as they pass over him. He has a vision of Karen leading him to Adolfson, but the vision abruptly ends when Karen is shot. In reality, it is Villa guiding him through the snow. They cautiously continue their journey. The hired assassin spots them and is determined to confront Villa and kill him. Aaron falls into a river, hidden beneath the snow, and struggles to free himself. Willa rushes to help him, but the assassin attacks Willa instead. They engage in a fierce fight, and the assassin cuts Willa's forehead. Unable to get a clear shot, the assassin is fatally stabbed in the neck by Willie. As Aaron finally escapes the water and reaches dry land, the assassin prepares to shoot him but is saved by a masked man from a distance. Aaron and Willie follow the masked man to his camp in the caves. Aaron, weakened and shivering, is assisted in lying down while Willa cauterizes his forehead wound to prevent infection. Later, Villa approaches Aaron and reveals that not only are the Germans pursuing them, but the Swedes are also involved. The Swedes were the ones who attempted to kill them, and Villa discloses that he recognizes the men who attacked him on the ice. In fact, Villa lost an eye during their time together in the army. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of Egil, the masked man. Egil introduces himself to Aaron, who shares the story of his missing brother. Egil claims to have knowledge of where the Germans have taken the prisoners. Aaron insists on showing him the location, and suddenly, Adolfson knocks on the door. Egil allows him inside, but Aaron confronts Adolfson, pinning him against the wall. They question him about sending an assassin after them, but Adolfson defends himself, stating that he was merely following orders. He offers to let Aaron leave for his wedding, but Aaron remains determined to find his brother. Adolfson hands over the map they had discovered, explaining its importance for Sweden's war strategy. Later, while taking a break, Egil reveals his arsenal of weapons, which he keeps in a box. They decide to rescue Aaron's brother and apply black cream to protect themselves from the cold. Armed and prepared, they are about to leave when a radio communication bar alerts them. Aaron answers and is surprised to hear Karen from the commander's office. She expresses her love for him and urges him to return to her after finding Sven. The soldiers embark on their mission, resting and eating along the way. At night, they reach a guard post office where the Germans are stationed. Using binoculars, they confirm the presence of the truck with the matching license plate number. They devise a plan to distract and separate the guards, suspecting that there might be an underground prison where Sven is being held. As Captain Keller and his soldiers depart, Aaron and Vila begin their attack on the guards. They successfully incapacitate all of them and make their way inside to the basement. Aaron systematically explores the compartments until he reaches the torture room, where he finds a man in a deprivation tank. To his relief, it's not Sven. However, the Germans bring in a man covered with a black sheet, intending to torture and tranquilize him. Aaron, believing it could be Sven, bursts into the room and eliminates the Germans. It turns out to be Sven, and Aaron comforts him. He then bravely fights off the approaching Germans and carries Sven to safety. However, a sudden explosion knocks them over. Simultaneously, Egil throws a burning whiskey bottle into the house, causing it to catch fire. The Germans rush out engulfed in flames, and Egil shoots them as they emerge. Meanwhile, Villa escorts Sven into the forest, protecting him. A fierce firefight ensues between the Germans and the remaining group members. Egil gets shot, and Sven, in a state of shock, fires at the Germans. Eventually, they manage to eliminate all of the enemy soldiers. Aaron embraces his long-lost brother after their arduous journey. Villa urgently advises Aaron to leave the area, but as Aaron calls out to Egil, Villa is suddenly shot from behind and dies in Aaron's arms. The Germans also notice Egil and fatally shoot him. Aaron, carrying Sven, flees into the forest, determined to keep his brother alive. The next morning, the wounded brothers reach a border bridge. Aaron, shot in the leg, spots a truck approaching, and they hide to avoid detection. To their surprise, it is Captain Keller, stopping as usual to relieve himself. Aaron seizes the opportunity and shoots the evil German captain in the head. The soldiers hear the gunshot and begin firing at the duo, hitting Aaron and causing a severe injury. Aaron is on the verge of losing consciousness, but he instructs Sven to aim for the detonator under the bridge. Shortly after, as the German's truck arrives right on the bridge, Sven shoots at the detonator, successfully killing and destroying the bridge. He then heads back to Aaron, where the movie comes to a close, and we see Aaron finally losing his consciousness completely and dying on him. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.